Good morning. My name is Jillian, and I will be your chairperson for today's service. Are there any visitors or new students and families here this morning? If so, welcome to our temple. Could those of you sitting near them help find the proper pages for sutras, gathas, and readings? Thank you. First, we will have Sambujo on page 24 in the Big Book, followed by Sutra Chanting Juseige on page 23 in the Little Book, or page 93 in the Big Book. Miss Jones will teach us the second part of the new Gatha with Gassho from the heart, which is on the second and third pages of the yellow handout. The Gatha will be followed by the golden chain, which is located on page 2 in the little book or page 15 in the big book under golden chain.
Good morning, everyone. Yay, we're here for the exciting finish, right? Okay, so before we listen to the recording, I want to go over where we're going to start to go over the words. So we got up to measure 21 on the first page. So the first page, it's the second to the bottom line, where it says hear and say the Nembutsu, right? That's where we got to last time. All right. So the next line, as we gassho with hands placed together, without a shred of doubt, we joyfully receive the truth. And then going on to the next page, with gassho from the heart. And then the next line is in Portuguese. So do I have any Portuguese speakers here? Good. Because I'm going to attempt my Portuguese. Com gassho no coração. So let's all try that. Okay, ready? Com gassho no coração. Okay, so the rhythm, it goes a little bit quicker. So you're singing right before that, gassho from the heart, com gassho no coração. Okay? Going on, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. And then there's a little musical interlude again. And then the next part where you come in, it's just like what you just sang. As we gassho with hands placed together, without a shred of doubt, we joyfully receive the truth. And this time it's in Japanese. So I think we might have some Japanese speakers, so please forgive my pronunciation if it's incorrect. So it's gassho shimashou, utaimashou. Okay, let's all try that one together. Okay, ready, go. Gassho shimashou, utaimashou. utaimasho, okay? And then Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. And then repeat that same kind of musical motif with Gassho from the heart, with Gassho from the heart. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, okay? So we're going to listen to the recording, but since you know the first half already, right? You can sing along, and then it's going to continue on. So if you would like to sing with the recording, of course, let's hear you. But we'll go line by line from the part that is new to us today. Okay? All right, here we go. Thank you to Mr. Onishi and Mr. Nishimura for doing our AV today. He's not under any pressure or anything. We're so lucky to have people to do this for us. Live streaming too. We have very competent people doing this for us, so we thank them. You can play it, yeah, it's, oh. Yay. Here we've come together, some from near and some afar, in spite of all our differences, we reach for the same bright star, and on this human pathway, we may err a step or two, but always we'll remember to feel deep gratitude and hear and say the Nembutsu as we gassho with hands placed together. Without a shred of doubt, we joyfully receive the truth. With gassho from the heart, con gassho no coração, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. As we gassho with hands placed together, without a shred of doubt, we joyfully receive the truth. Gassho shimashou, utaimashou, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. With gassho from the heart, with gassho from the heart, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Actually, it sounds like you already know this song. So let's all stand and do it officially. Thank you. Yeah. The whole thing's.
The Golden Chain. I am a link in Amida's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong. May we all attain perfect peace. Namo Buddhamitsu. Namo Buddhamitsu. Namo Buddhamitsu. Now we will have a Dharma lesson by Minister's Assistant Michael Jones.
Please join me in Gassho. When ignorant and wise, even grave offenders and slanders of the Dharma, all alike turn and enter Shinjin, they are like waters that, upon entering the ocean, become one with taste with it. Namo Amidutsu. Namo Amidutsu. Namo Amidutsu. Well, it's been quite a morning already around here. You may notice an absence of people at the front. Rinban wasn't feeling well, so he went home. Mikame Sensei is up in southern Alameda. Mr. Akizuki is down in Morgan Hill. Mrs. Tanabe also wasn't feeling well enough to come today. So you got me. So welcome. I appreciate everybody being here. The passage that I read to start off with is from the Shoshinge. This is a Gatha that we chant occasionally at special occasions. And it's a special chant because it was written by the founder of our sect, Shinran Shonin. The passage talks about when all the waters come down from the mountains as fresh water, they become rivers and they flow to the sea. When those fresh waters enter the salty ocean waters, they blend, and they're now all the waters taste the same. One taste, ichi mi. They are all the same. There are no longer any differences. You've heard me talk about the importance of making this temple a place where everyone feels safe. Last weekend, Minanomura Group hosted an LGBTQ+ awareness and acceptance workshop where we watched a film called A Profound Silence, and then we talked about it and about our own journeys. The name of the organization that created this film is Ichimi. They're part of the Gardena Buddhist Church, and the event we held was meant as another effort to make this a safe place. At the beginning of the service, we asked if there was anyone new here, and we asked those of you who attend regularly to help anyone new to our temple find the right book and the right place in the book so they might follow along. We want them to feel welcome. But some people here for the first time may not want to identify themselves. In fact, the last thing in the world they may want is to be seen as an outsider stepping into our temple. You may see them as outsiders, but in fact, Buddhism teaches us that we want anyone and everyone to come in just as they are and join us. Once they walk through those doors, they're no longer outsiders. They're members of our Sangha. We've spoken many times before here about accepting people as they are, just as we accept you as you are. We're not just speaking of people who are new to our temple. What about those that are different from us? Of course, with Mina no Mura, our primary purpose has been to promote awareness and understanding and acceptance of members of the LGBTQ+ community. But what about others who are different from you or me? You can find many ways to view someone as different. Maybe they're not Buddhist. Maybe English is not their first language. Maybe they're from outside of California. Maybe they're not American citizens. Or maybe they're not even Japanese. Imagine that. Now I'm going to ask you a couple of questions here, and I'm not looking for you to respond or raise your hand or anything. Just think about the questions I ask. Has anyone ever made you feel like you're not welcome to be around them? Has anyone ever made you feel that you're different and that the differences makes them better than you? Has anyone ever made fun of you, the way you look, the way you dress, the way you talk? Now think about those same questions again, but let's turn them around. Have you ever made someone feel like they're not welcome around you? Have you ever made someone feel that they're different and that those differences make you better than them? Have you ever made fun of someone, the way they dress, talk, or look? The term we use for this behavior is bullying. Whether this is done privately just between you and one other person, or whether there's a group surrounding one person who's being bullied, it's all the same. Unfortunately, bullying happens everywhere, and it happens a lot. And it is completely unacceptable. There's no excuse for someone to bully you, nor is there any excuse for you to bully anyone else, or to be a part of a group that's bullying someone else. If this ever happens to you, or you see it happening to someone else, tell an adult. Tell your parents. This is not being a tattletale or a snitch. It's not a violation of trust among friends. It's being a good person. Being someone who shows empathy and compassion for someone else, or for yourself. Empathy may not be a word you use a lot. Empathy is simply understanding how someone else feels about what is happening to them, understanding it from their perspective. Compassion is similar to empathy, but it is sharing the feelings of another person and trying to understand what they're going through. If you have ever been bullied, then you know what it feels like. How does it make you feel when someone makes fun of you or tells you that you can't be part of their group because you're not cool enough or smart enough or fast enough or rich enough? If your parents are from two different races, maybe you've been told that you're not Japanese enough or not Asian enough or not white enough. It doesn't really matter why you're being excluded. The fact that you're being excluded is what hurts. Once again, Buddhism teaches us not to exclude anyone. We want everyone to be here, just as they are. We want to be welcoming to everyone. We want everyone to feel safe here, and that includes you. We want you to feel safe here. If there is something or someone that makes you feel that you are not safe, then let someone know. Tell your parents. Tell your Dharma school teacher. Tell your scout leader. Tell a minister. Tell someone. Just give us the opportunity to solve the problem. Just as we want you to feel safe and we want you to be safe, we also want you to help us make everyone else feel safe. Part of that is to make sure that you're not the one doing the bullying. Sometimes we think we're just being funny with our comments, and we may actually just be trying to make someone laugh. But they may not understand it that way, and it may hurt their feelings. Remember that every week, just like today, we ask you to recite the golden chain. In doing that, you all say, "I will be kind and gentle to every living thing. I will protect all who are weaker than myself." You know, sometimes you're the one who's stronger than even your older brother or sister. Sometimes you're the one that's stronger than even mom or dad. We all have times when we feel sad or sick, or we're just not feeling good about ourselves. That's when we need everyone around us to help us feel better. You can be that person too. The person who helps others when they are sick or not just feeling well can be you. In order to make this temple a place where everyone feels safe, You must feel safe. When you feel safe, you can help everyone else by helping them feel safe. To do this may mean that you need to let someone know when you don't feel safe. Or you may need to let an adult know when you see someone who does not look like they feel safe. That's why it's important for you to always be kind to others and to get help for them if they need it. That's why it's our job to help look after and protect you. It is up to all of us to make the Center of the Buddhist Church Betsuin a place where everyone can come, feel welcome, and feel safe. We all want to be accepted, and we all want to be accepted for who we are. And everyone stepping in those doors needs to feel that they have entered a Sangha, their Sangha. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. We will now have Gatha farewell on page 45 in the small book, followed by the promise located on page 5 in the little book, or on page 15 in the big book. The promise. We thank the Buddha for showing us the way of freedom. We will endeavor to walk in his noble path every day of our lives. Namo Buddha Betsu. Namo Buddha Betsu. Namo Buddha Betsu. Thank you to Mr. Jones and organist and Gatha leader, Miss Jones. Are there any announcements?
Good morning again. I forgot I'm supposed to stay up there for the Gatha. I'm an instrumentalist, by the way, not a vocalist. But anyway, so next week, the next Saturday, CBE, Center for Buddhist Education, BCA, are presenting an event called Living the Dharma, Giving Back to the Community. There's a panel that's going to tell their unique stories on how they give back to the community. This includes a member of the San Diego Buddhist Temple who's from Mexico originally. He's been helping by translating many of the messages into Spanish. Reverend Akahoshi met him and brought him into the San Diego Buddhist Church. Wes Mukuyama, who many of you may know, spent years as a social worker and still goes out to the jails and visits inmates and so on. He's had a lifetime of helping people. And then two people from Associated Press who will tell their stories as well. So there's information on the BCA website. If you go to the homepage of the website and scroll down, you'll find the information on this Giving Back to the Community seminar for next Saturday. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Mei Kawamoto, Dharma School Superintendent. Just wanted to remind everyone of a few things I've mentioned. We have the Ask Sensei questionnaire. You guys can fill in the little slips of paper, or I can resend the link again, or you can just write on a piece of cardstock, either leave it in the office and tell them it's Ask Sensei, or you can find me and hand it over to me, and we'll have the ministers answer them during service. Also, don't forget my offerings envelopes. If you need any more, let me know. Announcements for the teachers. There's a teacher meeting after school today. And then last thing is we're going to do a Bring Your Friend to Dharma School Day in November. So I will send out an email about that. Thank you.
Good morning. We just wanted to tell everybody that thank you for supporting those that supported us. Our fundraiser on Wednesday, the California Pizza Kitchen. We had a very good turnout, and I think people that went enjoyed their lunch or dinner or snack, and we appreciate it very much. The BWA does. The other thing that's coming up is our soul line dancing class. That's next Sunday. So be sure to wear comfortable shoes and come out and join us. And it'll be at 11:30 after church and in the gym. And come join us. It's a lot of fun. And, you can practice your dance moves there, okay? Then the next week after that, it's coming close, is our art party. Really need to have people come and join us, because it'll be a lot of fun. You're going to learn how to do a scenic picture, and it's better than paint by numbers, okay? Because it's your creation, not just somebody else's creation, okay? So you get the instructor, the paints, the canvas, and then we also serve light refreshments. So it should be a lot of fun. Deadline is coming up, so I need people to, if you're going to join us, come and sign up by next Sunday is the deadline, okay? So please join us. Thank you.
Just a reminder that this Saturday, it's finally here. Nikkei Matsuri is having their artisan fair that's going to be held next door in our gym. That's Saturday, October 28th from 10 to 4. And the best part about it is that BWA is going to have a booth. So please stop by our booth if you can make it on Saturday. The other thing is the following, not this coming Friday, but the following Saturday, November 3rd, is our FBWA 2024 conference fundraiser with Panda Express. So save the date to have Panda Express on November the 4th. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mia, and this is Bria, and we are part of San Jose's Junior YBA. So Junior YBA is having a Halloween Candygram fundraiser for Maui disaster relief this morning from 10 to 11:30 a.m. And also today is the last day of the sale, so make sure you stop by.
All candygrams are $5, and all proceeds will go to the Maui disaster relief. Please look for our table in front of the Betsuin garden, which is like right out there. And thank you so much.
Before everyone leaves the temple, please straighten all the books for the next service. For those of you who are interested are welcome to attend the adult English service following this service, or you're welcome to stop by the open door cafe tent outside in the front garden. For your safety, please obey the crossing guards and look both ways before crossing the street. Thank you for attending today's service.
we're waiting for the changes in the program at the last minute. Thank you. Who's the chairperson?
I don't know, but there's a lot of visitors, okay?
Okay.
There's like two school books on the right-hand side
Okay.
from a school, I can't remember, and then one's from Santa Clara, and then there's a lady on the left here that she might want to talk to you,
Okay.
just so you know. Yeah.
So Joyce, are you
So,
chairperson?
yes,
It's
so
just me.
everything is the
Everything.
same except for Ringon is up here.
Right.
Yeah. Anything else? But because Dennis sent me the script,
Yeah.
and it's the same except for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a last minute change.
Yeah, it's awful. Illness comes, comes and goes.
I mean,
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joyce Iwasaki, and I will be your chairperson for this morning. It's just so wonderful to see all of you. Just to remind you that there are no food or drink while you're in the hondo. Are there any new people here today? And if so, you're welcome to stand up and introduce yourself. Okay, go ahead.
We're from Santa Clara University. We're doing a Buddhism project. We just came to experience a service today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. And you can talk to Mr. Jones after the service if you want more information. Thank you for being here. We're going to begin this morning's service with Sambujo. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, excuse me. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Amanda Candelaria, and I just moved here from Dallas, Texas on Tuesday.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm excited to be here.
Welcome, and I hope to see you many, many more times. Good. Thanks so much for being here. Okay, so
Joyce,
anybody
I
else?
think we have one more group in the back.
Okay. Wonderful. Welcome. That's wonderful. Very good. Thank you so much. I think, is that it? Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so we will begin this morning's service with Sambujo on page 24 in the large book, followed by Sutra Chanting Juseige, page 23 in the small Dharma school book, and page 93 in the large service book.
Namandam, 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 namandam. shogak, gao muryoko, fui dai seishu, fusai shobingu, seifujo shogak, gashi jobutsudo, myosho chojipo, kukyo mishomon, seifujo shogak, ryokujin shonen, joei shubongyo, shigumu jodo, isho teninshi, jinrikien daiko, fusho musaido, shoujo kankumyo, kosai shuyakunan, kaihichi egen, meshi konmon, heisokusho akudo, tsunatsu zen shumon, kosojo manzok, iorojipo, nichigatsu shujuki, tenko onfugen, ishukai hozo, kosei kudoku ho, jodai shuju, seppo shishiku, kuyo isai butsu, gusoku shutoku hon, kanne shitsujoman, tokui sangayo, nyobutsu mugechi, tsunatsu mifusho, ganyaku erik, toshi sai shoson, shiganyakoka, daisen okando, koku shotenin, touchin myoke, nam
I'd now like to introduce Mrs. Elaine Jones, who will teach us the second half of the new Gatha from Gassho from the Heart. It will be found on the second and third pages of this yellow handbook.
Good morning, everyone. And today's the exciting conclusion of learning this new Gatha. And for you that are guests today, you're lucky. You get to be here to learn this new song along with everyone else. So for your background information, this song was written by one of, BCA temple members from Tacoma Buddhist Temple. And she wrote it last year. It was worked on by the BCA Music Committee. And it was premiered at this past May's World Buddhist Women's Convention in Kyoto. So it's like a brand new song for everybody. So, and we're trying to get this song learned for worldwide. Okay, so last week we started from the beginning, and we got up to measure 22, second to the bottom, last line on that first page, where it says, hear and say the Nembutsu. That's where we got to last week. So we're going to continue on to the end today. So the words, if you could follow along, as we gassho with hands placed together, without a shred of doubt, we joyfully receive the truth. And then going on to the next page, with gassho from the heart. And this next line is in Portuguese. Do any of you speak Portuguese out there? Oh. Com gassho no coração. Is that pretty close? Okay, yeah. Okay. So if you could repeat after me the Portuguese line, com gassho no coração. And when we sing it, it goes actually pretty quickly. Com gassho no coração. Okay? Com gassho no coração. And then continuing on, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. And then after the little instrumental break, it is like the same melody that you sang before. As we gassho with hands placed together, without a shred of doubt, we joyfully receive the truth. Now this time, the words are in Japanese, so please forgive me, all you Japanese speakers. Gassho shimashou, utaimashou. And I hope I'm close, okay? So if everybody can say that together, ready, go. Gassho shimashou, utaimashou. Utaimashou, excuse me. And then Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. And then continuing on for there, where it says slower, it's just a tad slower. With gassho from the heart, with gassho from the heart. And you're going to hold that for like 3 counts. The heart, where that symbol, fermata symbol is. And then continuing on, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. And then that's the end of the song. Okay? And the way we did it at Dharma school, I had everybody seated, but they learned it so quickly that we sang it again, standing up. So you know what? Let's just all stand up and see how we do, okay? And then right after this will be the 3 treasures, okay? Starting from the beginning.
We go with hands placed together, without a shred of doubt, we joyfully receive the truth. Gassho shimashou, utaimashou, namo Amida Butsu, namo Amida Butsu. With Gassho from the heart, with Gassho from the heart, namo Amida Butsu, namo Amida Butsu.
Please remain standing for the three treasures, which is on page 3 of the small Dharma school book. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be freed from the suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves our supreme will. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in your life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you. Please be seated. Just so you know, a couple of people are going to come around with a handout so that you can follow along. There's too many items. I needed to give you a cheat sheet so you keep up with all the items. So. Okay, thank you, fellas. Thank you, Joyce. Appreciate it. Please join me in Gassho. Those who reach the pure land of happiness return to this evil world of the five defilements, where, like the Buddha Shakyamuni, they benefit sentient beings without limit. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Well, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. We are a little short-staffed today. Rinban wasn't feeling well, so he went home. Mikame Sensei is up in Southern Alameda doing the service there. And Mr. Akazuki, Dennis, is down in Morgan Hill doing their service. Sumi wasn't feeling well, so she's not here. So yeah, just got me this morning. So in any case, so we don't spend a lot of time talking about meditation in Jodo Shinshu. There's nothing wrong with doing meditation as a Shin Buddhist, as long as you understand what it is and what it is not, at least for us. Meditation helps us focus. It helps us clear our mind of distractions. It allows us to drill in on something that's very important to us so we may give it our most complete attention. It does not move us closer to enlightenment, and we gain no merit by meditating. One of the meditations taught by Shakyamuni Buddha was a meditation on the four immeasurables. I don't know about you, but this is a relatively new term for me, the four immeasurables. I read an article in the fall 2023 issue of Tricycle magazine written by a Buddhist nun, Mind-Rolling Jetsun Khandro Rinpoche. In this article, she explained the four immeasurables, and she also explained how they originated in the five characteristics. Now you know why you have a cheat sheet. You've all been around long enough to know that Buddhism is basically a collection of collections or lists. Those collections typically go by their numeric identifier: the Four Noble Truths, the Three Treasures, the Eightfold Noble Path, the Six Paramitas, and so on. You've seen them all. So now you can add the four immeasurables and the five characteristics. To make it a little easier, I've given you this cheat sheet to sort of follow along. So let's start by making sure we understand what the four immeasurables are and what they mean. Beginning with loving kindness. It's a simple sounding yet somewhat complex term. In standard dictionaries, you may see it defined as benevolent affection. In Buddhism, we think of it as an attitude or a mental state which can be built up through practice, even meditation. We also use the Pali word to mean metta as a definition. Metta is an outward feeling for the welfare and happiness of others. Compassion may be a little bit easier to define. It's the act or capacity for sharing the painful feelings of another. Joy is defined by Brené Brown as an intense feeling of deep spiritual connection, pleasure, and appreciation. And finally, equanimity we define as calmness, even-temperedness, self-control, or presence of mind. These are called immeasurable because their one fundamental quality is unconditional. Essentially, the four immeasurables are what you are. Now that we've got a working definition for each of the four immeasurables, and feel free to refer to your handout as needed, we can talk about the five characteristics, also known as the five qualities of the mind. Why is it necessary? In Tibetan Buddhism, it's taught that you cannot even begin to discuss the four immeasurables until you have cultivated these five characteristics. Referring to your handout again, the five characteristics are a fundamental attitude as vast as space, a mind as constant as the depths of the ocean, seeing all occurrences, inner and outer, as mists floating in the sky, a compassionate attitude as even as the rays of the sun, and sensing negatives to be like specks of dust in your eye. So starting with the first one, a fundamental attitude as vast as space. Think of yourselves for a moment as an enormous sphere. You're inside that enormous sphere. Everything begins and ends with you. When your fundamental attitude becomes as vast as space, your mind can accommodate everything. This is all-inclusive. It includes the people you know and those that you don't. People who think like you and those who don't. People who love like you and those who don't. Perfections and imperfections are irrelevant. Your attitude toward all others is accommodating, and it's free of the demands based on your own expectations. This is an attitude of loving kindness. This is compassion. You can see how in order to cultivate these four immeasurables, you must start with your own attitude. The second of the characteristics, a mind as constant as the depths of the ocean. In the dark and cold depths of the great oceans, nothing is disturbed by the waves on the surface far above. Building on the work done in the first characteristic, we now turn our attention to increasing our ability to be gentle in our approach to others. This is something that we ask our children to commit to every Sunday. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing. We don't allow the ups and downs and challenges of everyday life to overwhelm us. Moods do not alter your ability to live the four immeasurables. This is a particularly challenging area for many people. Our moods can be altered by any number of events or people, Someone promised to do something for you, but they didn't follow through. A company guarantees your satisfaction, yet won't give you your money back when you're far less than satisfied. Politicians are more focused on their re-election than on their jobs. And a simple trip to the store is marred when other drivers refuse to use their turn signals. I've said more than once that if you don't swear while you're driving, you're not paying attention. What's going on here is that we let people and situations impact our mood, which in turn impacts our sense of constancy, which in turn limits the extent of our attitude, the first characteristic. How do we build our strength in order to keep our mind constant? For this, we need the third characteristic, seeing all occurrences, inner and outer, as mists floating in the sky. This is a tough one. This characteristic encapsulates the attributes of impermanence. It is the teaching of impermanence and can help us understand how to deal with the things that go wrong in our life. It doesn't matter if this is something that happened in the world in general or specifically to you in particular. All phenomena is seen as mists that arise, manifest, and dissolve. It is our wisdom and insight that come to know the nature of things as they occur. Everything changes, the good and the bad. This is impermanence. Knowing this enhances one's abiding in constancy, which then enhances the vastness of one's attitude. Remember, that's the first characteristic. Several times in my career, I had a boss tell me, "You don't like the way things are now? Just wait 6 months. It will all be different." Without exception, they were right. Not all of the changes were good for me, but they came. One situation dissolved and another materialized. Things change. And it's important to remember that it doesn't matter what's a bad thing or a good thing. You take wonder in something that happens to you and you feel like your life is now complete, or you're extremely happy, you just can't imagine anything bad happening, but that will change. You've all heard the phrase, "This too shall pass." Well, happiness passes just as sadness passes. The fourth characteristic, a compassionate attitude as even as the rays of the sun. Within the context of this characteristic, we focus our attention to how to best benefit others. Compassion is a practice, not just a set of thoughts. We all know the term dana, selfless giving. Most of the people I've met in this community have no problem with the giving part of this definition. The challenge for many of us of the human persuasion is that our ego gets involved, and the selfless part goes by the wayside. Over 20 years ago, when I was on the board of the Betsuin, I asked a question about our Dharma newsletter. There were always 3 to 5 pages of names and dollar amounts listed in the dana section. Why, I asked, if dana is selfless giving, do we need to recognize the people and how much they give? I was informed that the office staff took a lot of flack from members when their gift or the correct amount of that gift was not mentioned in the Dharma. In the spirit of choosing your battles, I chose to drop that one and move on. However, we need to understand that building a compassionate attitude requires that we give to others without a strategy, without a plan, and without ambition. In other words, it's not always about us. And in fact, in this case, it's not about us at all. The last characteristic is sensing negativities to be like specks of dust in your eye. Most of us have one or more negatives in our attitude or personality. These attitudes, traits, even temporary states, anger, self-absorption, ego, strong desire and attachments, self-clinging, and particularly jealousy and pride should be treated as specks of dust in your eye. And like that speck of dust, you do everything you can to get rid of it. But the author of the article warns us to be just as consciously aware that negativity destroys your relationship with your intrinsic absolute goodness, which is the basis of your sane relationship with others. I have struggled for most of my life with anger issues, short fuse, bad temperament, Ask my kids when they were growing up. Ask Elaine. But over the past probably 15 years, I've come to understand better about how to work with that. And this characteristic is extremely important. And you really, because part of when you have something that bothers you, when you have a trait or an ability that you lack or something that you think you do incorrectly, when you let it bother you, it just creates more problems for you all around. When you treat it like something you just have to wash away, it's not so bad. Thich Nhat Hanh, the late Vietnamese Zen Buddhist teacher, wrote a book called Anger. It's one of my favorites. And he talks about you don't want to get rid of anger. Invite it in. Come in, my friend. Have a seat. Let's talk about what's going on. Accept your anger. Understand it. Wash it away. The four immeasurables, loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity, are all about our relationship with and connection to others. We strive to be a supportive Sangha, welcoming people into our temples just as the Buddha welcomed people as they are. And while we know we should do this, and that we should develop our skills with all four of these immeasurables, we need to be mindful that our capabilities relative to these five qualities of the mind. Our attitude toward others must be accommodating and without pretense. We have to work to make sure that events and changes don't disturb our minds and take us off track. We do this by seeing all occurrences, both around us and within us, as mist floating in the sky. These things manifest and they disappear. Everything is impermanent. We must give ourselves to others without a strategy, without a plan for how it should all work out, and without ambition or expectation of recognition. Finally, when we experience faults in ourselves, we should see them as specks of dust in our eye to be wiped away. The author of the article gives a couple of different approaches for cultivating the four immeasurables, and I just want to briefly mention the second. Think of this as the why we cultivate the four immeasurables. This approach is to do it just because. After all, do you really need a reason to be kind, to be compassionate, to be joyful, to live a balanced and peaceful life? It's really that simple. That is, it's just as it is. Quoting from the article, from the perspective of the Buddhist teachings, the reason you can actually generate unconditional loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity is that these things are your natural qualities. This is the authentic approach to the four immeasurables. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Michael, for your wise words. You know, I've known Michael for decades, and I'm so glad that he brings his Dharma talks to us now, because he expands my understanding of who we are. He expands my understanding as a Buddhist. So thank you so much, Michael. Now, please rise for Gatha Ondoku-san 2 on page 76 in the small Dharma service book.
Yo
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Please be seated.
Are there any announcements this morning?
Hi, I'm Phyllis Sugimoto from the Betsuin's Buddhist Women's Association, and I actually have 4 things. First of all, we'd like to thank all of those who supported our fundraiser that we had at the California Pizza Kitchen on Monroe that was held this past Wednesday on October the 18th. We appreciate your support. Thank you very much. The next thing is finally, okay, Nikkei Matsuri is having their artisan fair next door in our facility, and that's going to be on October the 28th from 10 to 4. And BWA is very happy to have a corner booth at this affair, so please stop by if you have a chance. The next thing is, just to save the date, the Federation of the Buddhist Women's Association, we have our 2024 conference. We started fundraising a while ago, and we will continue until the conference. But our next fundraiser will be held on Friday, November the 3rd. It's Panda Express, and you could order online at your favorite Panda Express. But again, that's for Friday, November 3rd. And then BWA is also having a paint party on Saturday, November 4th. And there is a fee to that. It's $40 a person. It includes the instructor, the canvas, the paintbrushes, the apron, and light refreshments. However, just to be aware that the check and the registration form needs to be received by October the 29th. Thank you.
I'm Elaine Jones this time from the choir. So did y'all enjoy the new Gatha that we sang today? Okay, I heard you singing and you sound so wonderful that you're all qualified to join the choir. For your information, the Gatha that we sang today, the choir will be performing a 4-part arrangement of that Gatha at the Honko service in January. So it'll be just slightly different, but hopefully it'll be very enriching and you'll enjoy singing it with the choir. Okay, we meet on Tuesday evenings at 7 o'clock, 7 to 8 here in the Hondo. So hope to see you there. You all passed the audition.
Me again. First of all, the handouts you got, if you don't want to take them home, and I won't be offended, either just leave them in the back or you can drop them off here on the front on your way out. So that way we'll dispose of them the right way. Next Saturday, BCA's Center for Buddhist Education will be sponsoring a seminar called Living the Dharma, Giving Back to the Community. 4 speakers will attend. You can get information on the BCA website. It's on the homepage. Just scroll down and find it. But the 4 speakers, Arturo Rubio is a member of the San Diego Buddhist Temple, and he was actually brought in by Reverend Akahoshi, and he does a lot of work to translate many of the sermons and other things into Spanish for the San Diego Temple. Wes Mukiyama, who many of you know, has been a social worker for decades, and he still visits the jails and works with some of the inmates on their spiritual path. And then 2 speakers from Associated Press will tell their stories of giving back to the community as well. So again, if you want information on it, BCA's homepage, and scroll down, you'll find the Giving Back to the Community event, which is next Saturday, the 28th. Thanks.
Thank you. And if you pass the garden, there is a fundraiser going on. Junior YBA is sponsoring a fundraiser to help raise money for the Maui disaster relief. So check that out. And you're always welcome to drop by the Open Door Cafe, and then you can go into the multipurpose room for some treats that the Dharma School families always have for you. So keep those in mind. Now, let's see. I want to thank all of you for coming, and you are welcome to come up and offer incense offerings. Thank you so much. Oh, and actually, I need to thank really Mr. Michael Jones for his Dharma talk, and Elaine Jones for being our organist and leading us in the practice. And we also need to recognize Steve Onishi, who is our tech person. So thank you all for participating.
Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, thank you.
My name is Ben.
Ben,
Nice to
come
meet you.
anytime.
Yeah, we will. We will. We're gonna try to bring our class. The rest of our class.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. All right, very good.
You'll see us again. Have a great rest of your